Greetings, kids and nerds. I'm my Universe and White Nerdy, and I finally gotten the chance to sit my butt down and actually watch and check out a film that a couple of people, both through Twitter and also here on YouTube, have told me that I would absolutely enjoy this film. To be completely honest, I thought that they were just announcing their own opinion that and they were trying to be like, no, seriously, you will absolutely like this movie, more than you think so. Because I've heard some good things about it. The trailer kind of enticed me. You already know what it is because you've clicked on this video and the title's right down there. But yeah, I actually gotten the chance to sit my ass down and actually watch and check out the uh, I guess I know it's just Wonka, but I guess it's like a Willy Wonka remake that I actually have gotten the chance to check out. And to be honest with you, yes, this movie is definitely amazing. So this is my opinions upon the Wonka movie or the Willy Wonka remake, and if nobody has seen the Wonka movie yet and you're watching this review, just be forewarned that there will be some spoilers. So just to be forewarned again, if you're watching this review and you haven't seen the remake of Wonka yet, then just be forewarned that there might be some spoilers within this review for some of you. I'm going to be completely honest right off the bat, because you're just going to hear me gushing over this movie 1,000 times. I've watched this movie, no joke, after the Christmas special, after when I uploaded that, and when I actually started to watch it the day after, basically. I fell in love with this movie. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. I get the songs in this movie stuck in my head more times than I want to admit. I sing the songs at random points. I quote it at random points. Is it a good thing? Yes. But here's the thing that surprised me. Is that this just might be my absolute favorite film of this year. No joke. Especially since I've watched it like 10 times by this point. And every time I rewatch it, it keeps amazing me. It's like I find something else amazing within this. Like, to be fair, if I only got stuck with one movie out of my entire collection to probably be stuck with, Wonka would be one of them because I could keep rewatching it and just never be sick and tired of it. Now, yeah, I know that people are probably thinking, like, we had the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka remake it back in, 2006, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't. Okay, we all knew it wasn't. I mean, Tim Burton is an amazing director, but and even he said it himself, when a studio or a company has their hands gripped right on him, he can't do what he'd like to do, and maybe that's what happened with the whole Johnny Depp Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. But or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever it was called. But the original Gene Wilder film is still one of the greatest films ever made, and it definitely is. I believe just like Wizard of Oz, it was made on a pretty small budget, and it made thousands upon millions of dollars back. So this was a remake that I was kind of a little worried about after what happened with the Johnny Depp film, and I was like, can they can they really stop and begin to amaze me just like the original Gene Wilder film? And the answer is yes, as this is just as amazing as the original Gene Wilder film, and I cannot help but love every second of this movie. As I must admit, Timothy Chalamet amazed me a lot more than I was willing to be amazed by him and his amazing performance throughout this entire film. Because when we first meet Willy Wonka, he's a young man that is an adventurer, and he's coming back from his world around adventures, and he wants to premiere his chocolate to the whole entire world. As he might not have a lot to begin with, but he has a lot of possibilities that he wants to prepare to people, and that he has surprises that he wants to give to the entire world. It's just unfortunate that the entire world is against him, and they are not going to let him get away with making his chocolate upon their property, especially not Arthur Slugworth. Now, at first, I'll admit I was a little bit skeptical with Arthur Slugworth being his enemy, but then my brain went, hey, wait a minute. Wasn't Arthur Slugworth technically the villain in the Gene Wilder remake? In the Gene Wilder original? And I was like, oh, like, that is a brilliant idea. Although a lot of people are probably upset that not me, but some of the other people out there are probably upset that I just like West India original, who was a white man. How in the world did he become black? To which I have a counter argument that this could take place in an Elseworld, where nothing has to really make sense, or maybe it's a different dimensional universe, like Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 616, Earth 888, Earth 1999999999995. Yeah, to be honest, yes, I still remember that joke. Yeah, that's a joke that probably will never get old. I'm hoping for a joke like that when we get beyond the Spider Verse eventually. But no, honestly, I didn't really mind it at first because I had to remember, like, oh yeah, because it's been quite a while since I've seen the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, so a lot of it I had to like remember and everything. And I could have borrowed it from my grandmother, but I'm like, I will try to remember what I can about it. And also, in sincerity, I like that they went with the route that Willy Wonka did not have a very happy life. Now, we have heard hints and mentions of this in the Gene Wilder original. We've seen the flashbacks of the Willy Wonka um, Johnny Depp and Tim Burton remake. But here we actually get a sense of that Willie did have a happy childhood. He actually did have a happy childhood. It's just unfortunately that life handed him a very unlucky deck of cards. As he grew up with a pretty happy life. He grew up with a single mother, not knowing who his father was or who his father is, and he basically became a very happy young man living a happy life, as his wish was never to be a chocolate maker. In fact, he wanted to be a magician, but it was his mother that made him want to dream of becoming a chocolatier. And it wasn't hard for the audience to figure out yet that his mother passed away, especially before we got to this part, but damn does it hit you right in the frickin' heartstrings. Also, Willie's not alone. He's with a group of people that definitely help him along his journey, as he intends to make friends along the way, and that's what's so special about Willy Wonka. Especially his relationship with the orphan only known as Noodle. Yes, that's the name that they give her, as I absolutely adore her and Timothy Chalamet together. Because the movie does tell us that before Willy Wonka steps into these people's lives, the ones that work at Mrs. Scrubbett's factory, which, by the way, if they ever remake Matilda, I want the woman who played Mrs. Scrubbett as Miss Trunchbull. Watch this movie, watch her performance, and tell me she would not kill it as Miss Trunchbull. I don't care if she wears the Miss Trunchbull makeup or not. If we ever do get a Matilda remake, which I am a big fan of the Danny DeVito original, it's in my collection, it's right behind me, somewhere. I would love to see this woman as Miss Trunchbull, and she definitely lands it. But what we learn is that their life was not very happy, specifically with Noodle, who becomes technically a main character in this movie aside from just Willy Wonka, and you get to see how Timothy, and I think the actress's name is Olivia Colman, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm also not mistaken, Olivia Colman is a voice actress in the PBS show Eleanor Wonders Why. I'm not sure if that's a good thing that I would know that, or a bad thing that I would know that. I'll let you polite people basically make that connection. But I love how they were like, these people live in this world of darkness, but when Willy Wonka steps into the picture, their light kind of becomes more profound, in that with Willy Wonka around, that they suddenly have something to look forward to in life. Because before this, they were in so much debt at Mrs. Scrubbit that it wasn't really funny, and she screws people over with a very profound, insanely ridiculous lease or clause that she had the people sign. Which there's something special that they did with Willy Wonka in this that I thought was really amazing. I'm not going to spoil that, but for people that probably want to know, it's like, Watch the damn movie. It's very amazing when they threw that in there because I'm like, ah, special. I absolutely did love that. But yes, you will see how Timothy Chalamet really stole the show, and how this young actor does not have any other roles right now is beyond me, as he is stellar in this. Make a musical and put him in it. He is an amazing singer, one, and he is also quite an incredible dancer, two. Excuse me. Now, now, a lot of you might be wondering, does this deal with the Oompa Loompas? Because remember, in the original, they hired people who had dwarfism to play the Oompa Loompas. I apologize to any of my viewers that might have dwarfism out there. Very, very much. That you were put, that basically people like that were put through that, and I really do apologize for that. And then in the remake, they had just one actor that was digitized countless times. But in this one, they decided to do something a little bit more amazing in this. And I cannot believe I'm saying this because, dear God, I love the original, but Hugh Grant steals the movie as an Oompa Loompa. Oh yeah, I wasn't joking. Hugh Grant is a fucking Oompa Loompa in this film, and yes, if you're wondering, he is amazing as an Oompa Loompa. Hugh Grant is just funny himself, but him as an Oompa Loompa, he had me dying of laughter a lot more times than I'm actually willing to admit, truthfully. As Hugh Grant was stellar as an Oompa Loompa. Yes, it might have been him instead of a blue suit or a green suit in front of a green screen, but he still did the job phenomenally and with so much charm. Now, yes, of course, there are some classic songs from this. I can't believe that they had Hugh Grant sing his own Oompa Loompa song, not once, twice. Actually, no, correction, 3 times. I'm sorry, I forgot about the end credits. He had the song during the end credits too, and it's amazingly hysterical. Uh, Hugh Grant had always been like one of the actors, but mostly he dealt in the early stages of his career. He dealt mostly with comedy, and a lot of people have stopped and forgot about that. That Hugh Grant did work in comedy long before he had like horror, drama, action, adventure under his belt. Yeah, he was in comedy. One of his earlier films was Mickey Blue Eyes, which is a comedy. You can go and look that up and come back here if you want and see if I'm lying to you. No, Mickey Blue Eyes. Go. You should watch that film too. It's amazingly funny. So go. Go, my little children, and have fun. So, I'm betting I can know what all of you are probably asking at this moment right now. Do I hate anything in this film? Unfortunately, so. There is something that happened with Noodle that I kind of was hoping that they wouldn't do because it was oddly kind of noticeable. And when they did it, I'm like, okay, alright, like, fine. Just fine. Another thing that I kind of do and don't like is and there's no easy way to do this without spoiling it, but there is a chocolate cartel with Rowan Atkinson as the father. No, that's not a joke. Rowan Atkinson is in this movie. Mr. Bean, or the voice of Zazu, is in this movie. He's amazingly, great in of himself. I do love Rowan Atkinson as much as the next guy. I've seen the Mr. Bean movies. He is amazingly funny, and he is just as funny and charming in here. But it's kind of like you can't just have Slugworth and the other chocolatiers be against Willy Wonka. You have to have the chocolate cartel. I admit I find it funny, but I also kind of find it a little bit like eye roll worthy. Like, oh, really? We'll have to throw this in here. But even though, yeah, I kind of am iffy about it, I might have to watch the film maybe a few more times to kind of really see if I still like it or not. Probably my opinions might change more so like towards the end of the year, but at the moment right now, I have to say that it's charming, we'll say the least. And it's amazing how they can capture something that seems ridiculous, but then you have to remember that this has come from the mind of Roald Dahl, who sometimes his ideas do go on a little bit of the ridiculous side. Like, for example, Matilda and the Big Friendly Giant. Most of Roald Dahl's ideas are a little on the funny and ridiculous side. But it's kind of like they really encaptured the Roald Dahlism and was like, this is what people want, this is what people are going to get. And yes, the music in this is very catchy. I would have played some of it for you guys, but in all honesty, I'm a little bit afraid of YouTube coming after me and giving me a chokehold right by the throat and going, "What are you doing with this music, young man?" And it's like, they just come at you with a baseball bat with wearing sunglasses going, yoo-hoo! And we stay away from those people that work at YouTube. So, am I definitely recommending Wonka? Yes, amazingly I am. But before I give it my final Funko Pop rating, I am going to tell you guys a few of my favorite songs in here. Definitely the two, actually three, that I really do like is definitely the Scrub Scrub song, which is amazingly catchy. I definitely mean that. A World of Our Own, which is an amazing song within of itself, and definitely, I don't want to say in a world of imagination that plays towards the end of this, but I do like the Noodle and Wonka song that they sing while Willy Wonka milks a giraffe. It's not a joke, by the way. It actually happens. And no, in case you're wondering, no, it's not like gross or anything. He's just telling, the both of them are just talking, telling stories, telling them about each other's life, while Willy Wonka milks Abigail the giraffe. There's a funny thing that happens with Abigail the giraffe, but I'm not spoiling it here. That happens with the chocolate hotel. So, am I definitely recommending Wonka? Absolutely. It's charming, it's amazing, it's filled with so much imagination and wonder that it really makes you think how they made a remake really incredible like that. And especially Paul King, who absolutely did an amazing job doing this, as he was both the writer behind this and also the director. And he just does quite the amazing job of putting it together. The musical team, the choreography team really did a beautiful job of making it. And so my Funko Pop rating of Wonka is definitely going to have to be an New York show. Because despite what I thought about this film at first, despite everything I thought about it, it did blow me away by how damn good that it is. So, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, go and watch this movie right now. But my Funko Pop rating for Wonka, the 2024 version, I might have to put that in the video just so people know which one I'm talking about, just for out of confusion sake. So, my Funko Pop rating of the 2024 Wonka is going to be an Inuyasha. If it were, I wouldn't bother. Chocolate bushes. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified every single time I can upload. And do you share my opinions with the Wonka remake? Or do you guys hate? Or do you guys feel mixed about it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know which version that you prefer. Do you prefer the Timothy